And welcome back to Metro Morning Live, and we are so happy to have with us again this week the president of the Action Leaders Forum 369, Dr. Eldridge Henderson. He joins us every week. And Doc, thanks again for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Now, Doc, before we get into what we want to talk about, I really want to touch on this because you're a very political man. The Republican National Convention, one of the big things that came out of that was the plagiarism of Donald Trump's wife, Melania Trump, of Michelle Obama's speech when she was at the Democratic National Convention. You have any thoughts on that?
Well, I do. I most certainly do. I want you to understand that is not unusual. These politicians and others do this all the time. Now, they are smart enough not to put that much verbiage together in consecutive order. But this is nothing new. If you look at some of those others throughout the time, there were other candidates that have done the same thing, and they're going to continue to do it because they think the voters and the potential voters are stupid and that they don't know what happened last year, a year before last. And the lady, his wife, didn't write the speech. You know that.
But she said she wrote it.
Oh, sure, of course she said it. So that's what I call a misrepresentation of facts. You know darn well no major politician going to write his own speech. They don't have time for that. That's why they hire speech writers and pay them.
No, but don't that put them in a bad light?
No, it doesn't. Because that's the status quo. That's what they do. They don't have time to write speeches. They might edit it slightly.
What I'm saying, Doc, her to take a big part of Michelle Obama's speech, didn't that put them in a bad light?
Oh, of course.
Because the reason I say that, because they spend all this time downgrading what the Obamas do. They hate them and all of this, and then you take a speech from them?
Let me tell you, sir, that is nothing but a lot of propaganda about hating Obama. Trump and most capitalists in America really love Obama secretly. Look what he has done for this country. He changed the economy. It was at a standstill, getting worse when he got in office 8 years ago, about 7 years ago. And now all those rich boys are richer. They know they love him, but they don't want to say it publicly because they want to get where he is. See, all the people that's on the outside politically want to become those on the inside. That's good politics. But so you have to degrade the one that's in office currently.
But Doc, when they put that out there that they hate him and all of this, and it goes to people who are not as educated as those people you just mentioned, then you got an uproar. You have people fighting and want to do all of this, and you have supremacist groups coming out, want to hurt him and all of that stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I got your point. That is true, partially.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just wanted to touch on that because we don't agree on politics. So, Doc, we're going to talk about consolidation this morning.
Okay, well, that's part two. That's
this
right.
Is part two of consolidation. And last time we talked about it, you were saying that it's good, and you want to continue your conversation on program consolidation and how good economics can make for a city.
I most certainly want to do that. What we don't have in America, in most cases, we don't have enough program consolidation between the cities, the towns, and the counties. All of them are trying to go independently. Now, they have over 3,069 counties in America, and most of them, all except 38, are independent. Now, there are 38 counties and cities where they are actually consolidated as a unit, but there are many others that have programs that are consolidated, but not as an incorporated entity. And in our great state, you only have Vicksburg, one county, doing a little of that, but most of the other states don't have that, especially in the South.
What would it take for our city or county to become a model government?
It would take simple action. According to Socrates Garrett, I'm going to read what he said. He says, we must elect individuals who understand the requirements of government, which means business, development, and jobs. And he also said, leadership and experience matter. So if you're going to get people that don't understand the requirements for good government, how to create jobs, how to give incentives to business, those individuals don't need to be at a higher office other than an alderman in a town with less than 1,000 folks. They're not ready yet for the big league. And according to Garrett, if you're not ready to be a leader and know how to develop your entities, your government entities, and have experience with that leadership, you're going to have chaos in government. And throughout this country, especially in these large cities, that's exactly what we have.
Yes, sir. Now, how can city leaders learn about the program of consolidation?
Very simple. All they have to do, and many are, but listen to this, they need to join what I call the National Association of Counties. That is an organization that has some of the best research about programs consolidation in America, and all these folks in Mississippi and other areas have to do, instead of just going to the conference and paying all that money, which I call taxpayers' money, $3,000 and $4,000 per trip per person, going to these conferences, they ought to stay at the conference and learn what's going on, get themselves involved in leadership, get themselves on commissions and agencies, and then bring these great programs back to the state of Mississippi, to the cities and counties, and especially the city of Jackson and Hinds County. And they'll be able then to put some of the programs in office and consolidate those programs so they have more efficient operations. And then you will find that the businesses, the job opportunities, and others will develop because they will put a strong tax base together. If the tax base is strong and the businesses can make money, they can hire people.
Well, Doc, if it's so obvious that that'll work, if it's that simple, why hasn't it been done?
Well, it hasn't been done because voters don't require it. Most people vote for the candidate that's running. They don't care about who is best. They don't make an effort to go and help select the candidate who is going to run. Someone just wake up. I'm going to run for mayor. I'm going to run for councilman. And then we get out there and vote for one or the other. And that's what you get. Without being participants, you're going to get the end result, which is usually someone just doing something for self-gain and not looking out for the interests of the citizens.
And you still know the people that's running for mayor of the city of Jackson? You know that list?
I know some of them.
Who are they?
Well, I'm only going to announce those that have announced their
You
position.
can break the news right here.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Not those that's secret, just waiting.
Okay.
They are just waiting. See, they are raising funds, as I told you, that anyone should do. They're trying to get their committees together. And if they are smarter than the Trump people, they are doing their research about what's going on in the city, learning about the statutes, trying to find out what's in the budget, trying to find out who is doing a good job in the various agencies, the departments, so they can fire them within 30 days once they get in office.
Now, you just mentioned Trump. Have you been following the Republican National Convention?
Oh, yes, most certainly.
What's your impressions of it?
I think it is a good, strong, undermined organization that's trying to maintain the status quo. As you see, the Republicans are fighting each other. Every day they're getting closer and closer together. And Trump has already received the nomination, and he's going to get out there and get with Hillary Clinton. And they're going to be fighting like two hungry bears over one small rabbit. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be exciting. You're going to have a lot to talk about, I guarantee you.
Yeah, because we don't agree on this. What do you think will happen during the next 6 months there, Doc?
It's going to be better than interesting. You're going to find the following. Mark my word. Hillary Clinton and Trump going to be talking about each other in such a negative manner, you're going to think they're from different countries. They're going to look at each other as adversaries that's not going to do anything good for the country. Both will declare that I'm going to be the one you need. Trump will be saying, I'm tough. If anyone mess with America, I'm going to take corrective actions. I'm going to fight him. Hillary Clinton is going to say, that's not the way to do it. I'm going to talk to him and negotiate with him. Then you're going to find so much chaos in these 6 months prior to the election until you're going to have civil unrest. And then the two candidates are going to talk about how they're going to curtail those problems as soon as I get in office. And once you start this citizen unrest, I would say, you're going to have the nations looking and waiting to move in. When you get weak, that's when your opponents move in, and you're going to have some serious internal problems on the national level.
Which one are you supporting?
I'm not going to say at this time.
Well, Doc, it's almost time. They're going to vote in November, so it's almost time. You don't want to tell us who you're supporting?
No, I don't want to tell you because that's not going to help very much because I told you before,
Yes, sir.
only 538 individuals in America will elect the president, Mr. J.
Yes, sir.
Our vote is not important.
Yes,
so
sir.
if you believe that, you believe it. That's good to believe it, but do the research.
But you still have to get out and vote, Doc.
I'm going to vote, of course. Yes, I'm going to vote.
Okay, all right.
But I'm not going to tell you the one I'm going to vote
I
for.
know, but whoever it is, we don't agree on it.
How do you know? You
I
don't
kinda-
know who I'm going to vote for.
I kind of feel.
Well, feeling is not good enough.
Yes, sir. Well, Doc, I want to let everybody know that you can be seen on Channel 18 on Wednesdays and Fridays. Is that
That's right. On Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Yes, sir.
And Fridays at 5. And that's when they get the real news.
That's where you cut up.
No, I give the real
You
news.
get real news. Okay.
I give facts.
What I give here?
You give a great news show yourself. You have a great show, Mr. J.
Well, thank you, Doc. I appreciate that. Hey, stay with us. More Metro Morning Live after the break.